The infamous Tinder Swindler hustled some women out of $10 million. What does he spend other women's money on? Simon Leviev, whose real name is Shimon Hayut, used Tinder, the app that connects singles to mingle and makes bed springs jingle, for extreme and extravagant personal gain. He's an Israeli conman who leans into his Ryan Gosling good looks and mastered the art of overpromising and underdelivering. His Tinder profile reads a billionaire's son, and the lie becomes more believable when the guy is floating around on a yacht just outside of Mykonos, Greece. A crude charter on the Mediterranean Sea goes for at least $1,500 a day. He definitely looks the part of the yuppie when he stands on a dock, though. His ability to create what the French call l'amour fou, an all-consuming love that attracts prey like moths to a flame, led him to squeeze enough women out of their money to buy some top-shelf eyewear. He's seen in his pictures wearing some serious chrome heart shades, like a pair of $70 chagasses, $650 origami's, $1,500 sluntradictions, $600 diamond dogs, and $3,300 Blade Hummer 3s. Gotta cover those windows to the soul, baby. Because as one woman described him, this guy is like total darkness. Image is everything with this guy, and like the notorious B.I.G., he stays Gucci down to the socks. Gucci socks are $300, by the way. Those Gucci bowling shirts go for $850 to $2,450 a pop. Dolce & Gabbana Cupido crew neck sweaters, $1,066. Louis Vuitton dress shirts, $1,280. The Fendi t-shirts, $700. His Versace shirt you see him in here is worth $1,325, although you can get a knockoff for $27.88. Black calfskin and red rubber $1,244 Christian Louboutin clutch bags, or as we call them in the West, man purses, were one of his big necessaries. As you probably know, one of his ex-lovers got their hands on a lot of his clothes and sold them on eBay. She made over 10 grand on that. On his yacht, he can be seen wearing a $72,800 Rolex Yachtmaster II. It's got a gold strap and crown, white dial, and a bidirectional rotatable bezel with a blue Cerachrome insert. Although I'll bet when you hold Simon's Rollie next to your ear, you hear tick-tock, tick-tock, just like the ones you pick up in Times Square for $10. Real Rolexes don't tick. His ostentatious wristwear doesn't stop there. In his wristwatch collection is a $404,000 Richard Mille RM30. Post Malone has a similar one, the RM12 with a skull on it. He's got a $73,000 Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, which turned out to be 100% fake, 3 Rolex Gold Day-Dates worth $31,500 a piece, one of which has a diamond bezel. Hey, this here is the same make and model, actress and model, Marilyn Monroe gifted President JFK in 1962, a yellow gold $22,700 Rolex Submariner, and a $763,000 Rolex Daytona Rainbow. Ooh, Post Malone has one of these too. Although Posties is probably real. This $1,367,000 group of timepieces functions as bait. I guess you could write it off as advertising cost. Even after doing his 5-month prison sentence in Israel, he's flaunted his black and yellow $21,800 Sistos Challenge 3 Chronograph S automatic black steel watch all over town. Simon gets his lean on a Rosso Arancio $510,000 Lamborghini Aventador Spider. The Aventador's loud and proud 769 horsepower V12 goes 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, fast enough to get away from any one of Interpol's interceptors, and 25 G's from a few women here, 100 grand from a few women there, and boom, you have yourself a $263,000 Rosso Corsa Ferrari F458 Spider. He'd get the women in a you only live once state of mind, and he'd pick them up in a Rolls-Royce. While we don't know the exact model, a $330,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost fits well with his age and character. It's the perfect young man's Rolls. David Beckham knows what I'm talking about. You know what's cool about the Ghost? To open the rear suicide doors, you simply pull on the handle and hold it out, and the door does the rest of the work for you and opens all on its own. He's also been seen driving women around in a $550,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's very difficult not to believe someone is really rich when they pull up in one of those. Then there's the Beluga Black $241,500 Bentley Continental GT he poses with on the gram. From the bespoke car, Simon says he owns a private jet. He seduced women Tony Stark style in his $70.1 million Gulfstream G650ER. The plane takes couch surfing to a whole nother level, as you can literally fly while facing the opposite side of the cabin on a couch and watch movies on the full-sized screen like a boss. The divan is certified for takeoffs and landings so long as you're strapped in. You pay the big bucks for the windows on the G650ER. They're 16% larger than the G450 and G550 and bring in a lot of natural light, keeping you in that "oh my god, I'm so in love" mood. It's got a private bedroom, or stateroom if you will. The divan in his room folds out to become a full-sized bed. If you want to join the Mile High Club, you don't have to use the closet-sized airplane bathroom on this baby. If you really wanted to though, you could do so in the bedroom's private bathroom, which is big enough for an actual human. Simon fed his suckers caviar on the plane. That'll run you $75 an ounce. You get to eat at a varnished, full-sized wood table, not one of those plastic fold-out TV dinner trays. There's a good chance he chartered the private jets around Europe for around $11,000 per billable flight hour. It doesn't give you that pride of ownership, but it's still a fair amount of money. A private 4-hour flight from London to Oslo could cost you up to $44,000. Simon gets around in a chopper as well. He must have watched or read 50 Shades of Grey and thought, yeah, this is how we do it. He does it in a jet black 900K private Bell 206B Jet Ranger 3 helicopter. He made himself appear to be a polo player, one of the most expensive upper-class sports in the world. $105,000 will buy you a 10-year committed membership to the Polo Club of Boca Raton in South Florida. That clubhouse alone underwent a $27 million renovation, and you get access to tennis courts, 5-star dining experiences where you'll have to search pretty hard to find something to complain about, and golf on top of your polo playing. Don't forget your $2,306 monthly fees for full access. The traveling man stayed in high-class 5-star hotels, like the Four Seasons Hotel London at Park Lane, where rooms go for around 1,200 bones. Pretending to be rich ain't cheap, but there's nothing like coming out of a golden elevator, know what I mean? He'd invite women over for coffee in the Aramanto Lounge, which costs £7 a cup, or $9.50 US. If these women knew how much they were going to get taken for, they should have at least ordered a full $270 285-gram A5 Wagyu steak from the restaurant. Ain't nothing like Japanese beef. Or at least opted for the $78 US per person afternoon tea, which comes with Scottish lobster sandwiches, scones with Devonshire clotted cream, and Chocolat Saint Honoré pastries. That'd be one nice culinary memory you can hold on to before you cry yourself to sleep over losing your life savings. He's also stayed in the Park Hyatt Vienna Hotel in Austria, where the presidential suite will run you $3,100 plus per night. Not to mention the Continental Hotel in Oslo, Norway, a $1,679 endeavor, which will get you a 667 square foot royal suite. He's rented $1,200 a night beachfront rooms at the W Barcelona in Spain as well, which has glorious views of the Balearic Sea. Yeah, like Johnny Cash, this guy's been everywhere, man. And when he goes to the Mandarin Hotel in Munich, Germany, he probably stays in a $3,600 tower suite. No need to sweat tipping the bellboy when it's all other people's money anyway. He claimed to have a home in Amsterdam. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3,627 square foot luxury property on the canal could run you an $8 million mortgage or so. When Simon and his lover were ready to move in together, he'd pump the women up by getting them to look at $15,000 a month love nests. These luxury properties all over Europe were drop-dead gorgeous. The partying racks up those credit card bills real quick. Using Swedish kronas he got from the last chick, he'd buy $1,200 champagne bottles like they were water for the next chick. Stockholm has been ranked the 7th most expensive city in the world to have a night out in, with revelers in the Swedish capital likely to fork out more than those in London, Paris, and Moscow. Bonbonnière, a club in Mykonos, is Greece's billionaires club. It costs €2,000 or $2,241 US just to get a table. More than floor seats to see the New York Knicks play at Madison Square Garden. Bottle service, say for a Jeroboam Stoli Elite vodka bottle, is $1,734. Champagne, like Dom Perignon, is $532 a bottle. But if you want to go over the top and beyond, it's the $5,269 Hennessy Imperial Cognac bottle. And to exit the stratosphere and enter another dimension of spending, it's gotta be the $26,876 Methuselah Cuvée Carbon Champagne. The 6-liter Kia Optima priced celebration juice comes in a carbon fiber bottle, keeps it extra cold. It blends Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes that come from the prestigious House of de Vavry vineyard in France. It'd better be for a big celebration though. The Milwaukee Bucks only drank $53 bottles of Moet and Shandong Imperial after winning the NBA championship, something many of the players and coaches worked for their whole lives. Bonbonnière is a wild club complete with live fire dances. Mykonos itself is surreal in its color, vibrance, and sheer beauty. This is a huge contrast to Simon's last known address, which is in the outskirts of Tel Aviv in Benai Bank. We estimate his one-bedroom apartment in the lower-income neighborhood to be rented at $900 a month or so in Israel. You'd expect the playboy to live in a $20 million Caesarea Israeli mansion with a very judgmental father. Pampering stretches out the budget even more. He'd send his lovers fresh-cut flowers through a delivery service. That's $80 easy. Peter, the Tinder Swindler's personal bodyguard, sure didn't work for free. VIP security detail and close protection officers will run you $850 a day in Tel Aviv. After the Netflix documentary came out, Peter claimed it damaged his reputation and impedes his ability to get work. He sent Netflix a cease and desist order and is looking for $5.6 million in damages and an apology. It is currently estimated that Simon Leviev is currently worth $500,000 to $1 million. It's 5 to 10% of what he was worth at his peak, but it's still a respectable amount of cash. I suspect he has quite a bit more hidden away. He only had to pay the victims $47,225. Not too bad, he got off pretty easy on that deal considering many of his victims still owe six-figure debts with heavy interest. He was seen shopping for Ferraris in Tel Aviv just this February 2022. He was eyeballing a 296 GTB, which costs around $250,000. Where did he get the money? Well, some of it came from Cameo, the app where you can hire celebs to give personalized messages for $150 a shot. Personally, I'd prefer a message from Alfonso Ribeiro. But Simon's had so much experience sending off personalized messages, he's kind of a natural fit for the service. He raked in a disturbing $30,000 in his first 3 days on the service, just enough for 1 year's worth of insurance on a Ferrari. He did not leave the Tel Aviv dealership with a new car though. Like Jordan Belfort, the former Wolf of Wall Street, Simon's moving into the motivational speaker space. The man who said he was a Mossad agent, international jeweler, CEO, and former South African prisoner will give your business a motivational talk for $2,000. He also has a website where you can get one-on-one coaching from the hustler himself. If you're thinking of starting a Ponzi scheme, this service might point you in the right direction. Services start at $311. Simon's most powerful weapon and most prized possession? His phone. He's glued to his $1,200 iPhone 12 Pro Max. He used the smartphone the way the aliens used their reality distortion field in Star Trek, sending messages 24/7 to shame, manipulate, and control his victims away into buying him new drop-top Mercedes-Benzes. But he starts by giving you things. That's one of the key things he spends other people's money on. Phase 1, he makes a Tinder profile. That part is free. He uses it to make you able to find him. Phase 2, meet. To keep up appearances, he dresses to the nines in high fashion and meets you for expensive coffee in a hotel lobby. Phase 3, attract and pamper. He buys you appropriate gifts and $150 a person fancy meals at the fanciest restaurants. The business lunches are an expense that incurs a little psychological debt. Phase 4, seduction. Gets you driven around by a personal driver on a day rate. London luxury car chauffeurs go for $276 for a half day, and Rolls-Royce rentals $1,079 a day. He gets you to come away with him. He flies you away on a private jet for a $22,000 charter fee or so. Simon doesn't worry, he'll make the money back. It's an investment in trust, or in other words, a long con. Phase 5, physical closure. Make two become one in a foreign $1,500 a night or so 5-star hotel suite. The view, the connection, who could resist? Phase 6, next level pampering. Here the over-the-top gifts come. Say a $125,000 Mercedes-Benz like he did for his new Israeli girlfriend. Phase 7, the con. You're hooked. He asks for money. You give. He pays you back. Then he asks for more. You give, you give, you give. He doesn't pay you back. Phase 8, you're ruined, 6 figures in the hole plus soul-crushing bank interest. He has enough Phase 7 money to finance taking down a new mark, new car rentals, new Versace, pay up personal security, new fake IDs, new Tinder profile, rinse and repeat phases 1, 2, 8 ad infinitum. What's next for the con man? He plans to write a book, host a dating podcast where he'll discuss the do's and don'ts of dating. Well, that makes sense, everyone has a podcast. And pitch an idea for a new TV show where women compete for his love. I'd say this will never happen, but there was the Flavor of Love, where women actually competed for the affection of Public Enemy's Flava Flav. So now, I'm ready to believe anything. Simon claimed to be the CEO of LLD Diamonds and the heir apparent to its real CEO, Russian-Israeli Lev Leviev, who's actually worth $1 billion, and not actually Simon's father, were accused of being part of an $80 million diamond smuggling ring in 2018. Yeah, the real Levievs have their own problems. Like the notorious hustlers of New York City's Scores strip club, you know, the ones depicted in the J-Lo movie Hustlers, the Tinder Swindler knows how to make people fall in love with the veneer of a person. That love was quantifiable. He knew people's secret desires and fears, and pitted one against the other to buy things.